Why am I in a cloak? Good question. Because, at long last, Hendstrom is out. And I've been saving my cloak cosplay episode for this occasion. Well, and several reasons actually, because it's October, so it kind of works out well. I've kind of been wanting to talk about cosplay for a while, and I felt, well, Halloween would be fitting, except that it's not Halloween yet, but it's still close, so we're doing that. I got bored last January, and I had some fabric, and I decided to make a cloak. This one. It was really fun. Interestingly enough, shortly after I made this epic coat, we had the idea for Hendstrom, which worked out pretty well and sent me into a pre-production frenzy, so I not only made this cloak, but two others that are green and sheer and shiny. For the rest of our costumes, for our Hendstrom, they were all thrift store finds, even my dress, which is, it was a Halloween costume, and then it ended up in a thrift store, and then my sister-in-laws picked it up, and then I wore it. So, for filmmaking on a budget, thrift stores are probably a really good place to find stuff, assuming you have a decent thrift store. Our makeup that we did is a mix of the makeups that I have and some that my mother-in-law didn't use. I tried to go natural with the makeup because, well, we're running around outside and really don't need too much makeup, and because of the time and the story, made-up characters wouldn't really work well. So I stuck with natural tones for most of that, and a lot of the flush in our cheeks actually came because we were cold, so I didn't have to use too much blush. I've always loved the idea of cosplay, and any opportunity I've had to dress up, I've used. For the longest time, like over a decade, I dressed up as a colonial during the part of my life where we didn't celebrate Halloween, but we did fall festivals. I dressed up as a colonial using the Felicity costume from American Girl because she was my favorite. My first dress that I had when I was 7 and lasted until I was 13 maybe, probably less than that, was yellow, and it was adorable. The second one that we made after I grew the yellow one, my grandma let me help with, and we made a blue one with a flower pattern and some dark blue trim and ruffles on the bottom, and then to go along with it we made a petticoat with some eyelet trim at the bottom, and we made it an inch longer than the hem on the blue dress, so when I walked around and I wore the pieces together, you'd see the ruffles on the dress and the petticoat, and it looked way adorable and weirdly authentic. At least authentic in the way I like to imagine it. Before that, when we used to celebrate Halloween, I generally went as boy characters. I was Peter Pan once, I think. I was Robin. Robin was my favorite because I was, strangely enough, hugely into Batman and Robin at the time. And I think eventually my parents convinced me, or maybe when I was a baby, I went as Little Red Riding Hood and a ballerina. But most of my memories take place with me in boy/superhero costumes, which was kind of awesome, and I forgot how very much into Batman I was when I was 4. So the last 2 years, our town has like a Halloween walk where a bunch of merchants on Main Street come out and they give candy to people, and so everyone's in costume on Main Street. So I've been walking around in my Ravenclaw robes that a friend of mine has made because she's been costuming for a very long time. And I hope to have her on the show to talk about her costuming stuff because she makes the most epic Harry Potter robes that I've seen, and I love my Ravenclaw robe like crazy, even though I'm wearing my Gryffindor shirt. This year, with The Hobbit coming out, I'm changing it up, and I'm not going as Ravenclaw. I'm hoping to go as a hobbit. I've been trying to avoid sewing my own costume because I don't really have time, although I've picked out some fabrics as a backup in case I need to sew a skirt and find a peasant top and a vest if the costume that's pre-made doesn't work out. So the one that I'm looking at is a barmaid costume that's green and has a brown vest and a lace-up kind of front, And it has a belt, but I'll wear it sans the belt because that'll look better. And so the next thing I need is shoes. Eyeing a pair of sort of beige ballet flats that look kind of sheer that I think will probably work. Mage Wars didn't go up last week, and I apologize. I got ridiculously busy, and so I didn't get a chance to edit any of the footage, but by the end of the week, we came up with a better idea for how to present Mage Wars and also future game playthroughs, because I have a feeling that's going to become a regular thing, which is awesome. So first, we're doing a short version, which is in here, which you can watch now. I'm Kiri.
I'm Alex.
And we're going to play Mage Wars. Do you want to explain the basis?
Mage Wars is a customizable strategy game of dueling mages.
Dueling?
Which you could not find out by reading the cover.
Nope.
And yeah, you have a book of cards, you have a board, and we're going to get that all out right now.
I'd like to thank Dirigo Hobbies for lending the game and the future games that we'll be playing and reviewing. And if you want to see the full version of the Mage Wars playthrough, or at least as far as we got with it, you can check it out here. That's all for this week. Stay tuned for the Magic the Gathering giveaway because I have to sort them out first.